Reverse central control, activate, repair the computer. Dr. Kazoo, King Kazoo, the universe, repair the computer. Good morning, everyone. Here we are again on the East Coast. We've got a deepening winter storm, which has got a blast East Coast here. It's actually going to be happening. It's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things going on in the atmosphere that's causing it right now. Change in jet streams, magnetic induction, all kinds of things going on. The main thing is here, okay, in the wintertime, with what's going to be hitting the East Coast, whether in the East Coast, eastern part of the, like New Jersey and eastern Pennsylvania for flooding, even in the snow areas. Always get yourself some type of first aid kit to keep with you during these times of emergencies. There's different sizes you can get. Different places. Walmart would probably have a lot of places would have them, sell them. They're not bad at drugstores, whatever. Small safety kits to have. Also, some type of weather radio isn't bad to buy either. You get yourself to let you know with the weather forecast and stuff of that nature. Always keep a supply of flashlights together and all kinds of weather stuff. This is stuff to remember to have, whether they're going to be in heavy rain or heavy snow, to get you through any predicaments what's going to have, especially what's going to be happening on the next couple of days here. It's going to be a very dangerous situation. One being is, okay, a lot of spring blossoms, like a lot of leaves are on the trees now and everything's starting in the springtime. And what's going on is getting the heavy snow that predicting. Now there's a lot of things, a lot of them are saying of like a lot of heavy snow coming in certain parts of Pennsylvania. Yeah, the ingredients are there. Your low pressures are down south, and you get that flow coming off the boiling water flowing up north, and you have the cold air coming down, which puts the ingredients together, makes a massive storm on the East Coast, which we haven't seen this year. This is like the first nor'easter we've seen. And people who lived on the East Coast in several years past, you know, we expect this every year. So it shouldn't be in a big panic mode. Okay, yes, go to get your supplies, you need your food and stuff like that also, and your first aid supplies there. But also, as long as East Coast, let's talk about this, there'll be a lot of heavy rain, a lot of heavy flooding involved with this here. I'd say 3 inches plus 4 plus inches of rain or more in these areas. Now you're going to be very high winds there, 40, 50, 60 mile an hour gusts along this whole East Coast. Now in western Pennsylvania, we get into the snow belt. Now, they're claiming that the temperatures are going to be between 30 and 31, 32 degrees. Yes, the ingredients are there. Also, a heavy storm maker, up to 12 inches or more in parts of western Pennsylvania into New York. And New York's in a lot of heavy snow too. But also, keeping in mind here too, depending on where you're at, even in western Pennsylvania, this could be a very high period of freezing rain too, since the temperatures are going to be between 30 and 32 degrees. We're not really calling for a major drop in temperatures like into the lower 20s or anything like that. And everybody knows, lives around here in the past, there's times they called for snow, and the temperature was 30 to 31 degrees in there. We got a lot of freezing rain instead. So don't rule that out if you see that before you see snow coming. Okay, so you see a lot of that. But also western Pennsylvania, my feeling is anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snow. Probably around even the Johnstown area, we see about 4 or 5, 6 in that area there. And in the mountains, you're going to see up to a foot or more. And you go up into New York, a foot plus here. Now, this whole East Coast, we are getting your flooding. This is a very dangerous situation, people, which we know. Every winter, we've had nor'easters, stuff like this happen in January and February. It's very rare you get one this late in the season. But be very careful. Now, like we said, there's going to be a lot of high winds. There are already been trees down because a lot of leaves and everything are on the trees now, and everything's blossomed. And also, once this starts melting, because the temperature is going to get back up in the 50s here later on this week, even in western Pennsylvania. Okay, watch for flooding in the western part of the state later on this week because of all this snow. But the main thing is that from like the Carolinas, the whole way up this whole East Coast, very heavy rain and parts of very heavy snow. Very high winds, damaging a lot of the trees down over this, power lines down over this because of the weight and everything now. So it only takes like an inch or two of snow with all the leaves out there that are on the trees to make the trees come down. So be very careful. Keep a supply of generators, If you have a generator, it'd be good to have one in stock if you can get one today. And for a reminder of even in the future to get stuff like that, your first aid kits, your blankets, all your food supplies, your toilet, all your necessities, everything you need, because this is a very dangerous situation, and people got used to it, even myself. Living around this area, western Pennsylvania, going around the winter time with a sweatshirt and a small jacket on. It's a little bit different situation now. The real McCoy is coming through tonight into Tuesday morning here, and they're going into like warnings and watches all into the evening on this whole East Coast here. There's going to be a lot of flood warnings and flood watches along this whole from central eastern part of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, D.C., parts of Virginia, this whole area, from like anywhere from the Carolinas north. So, Dr. Kazoo, we're going to take a break here. Wishing you a happy weather day.
What about the elevation at 68,000 feet over in the Poconos? Is that a problem?
What do you think? Come on. Yeah, 68,000 feet would probably be snow. More, no.
You didn't show the dynamics of the storm.
Okay.
Where's the cold air coming from? Which way is it coming into it? Is there any precipitation coming from the west into the storm?
You're picking up a lot of Gulf moisture off the Atlantic, boiling hot water. You're getting a lot of, you're getting your cold air coming down from Canada, it's flowing here. You had a jet stream here originally. It was held all winter long, and it held into even this past week. It came down from the west, swooped down south, and went back into Canada. But now you have another trough with magnetic inductions. There's a lot of auroras. A lot of stuff's been going on up in space. We have an aurora cloud that's hanging over the planet now, planet Earth, if you want to get into it. The way the magnetic induction has changed in here, yes. You have cold air coming down, sweeping down, and dry, okay? It's dry air, okay? And you're hitting all this moist air from the south, barreling north. Your double barrel low's going to form down here, like it always does in the south. It's going to take its time coming up north, and it's going to cause all this, okay? It's coming in, you're hitting all that moisture off the Atlantic and the Gulf. You're getting a flow off the Atlantic too, plus the Gulf, and you're getting a flow of cold air from the north, streaming south, and you have a big collision. Some places down in the south here are going to get very severe thunderstorms, very severe storms over this, working up the whole East Coast. Okay? And that's what's going to be happening. So we're going to take a little break now. Dr. Kazoo signing.
So is this storm going to be a deadly storm?
In some cases, yes, with the flooding rains. Deadly, yeah, it could be a deadly storm. But people living along this, the northeast know, in the winter times we get 6 to 2 feet, 3 feet of snow. So people living around here are already used to it, should be adapted to it already. The only thing now, this is late in the spring, nobody is expecting it because it's such a mild, unusual winter that we had. And then again, that's going because what's been going on. You had a lot of explosions up in space around the sun. I know some of the forecasters say the sun has nothing to do with the weather forecasting, some of them, but it does. It has a lot to do with it.
How heavy is the snow? Like if the snowflake falls, and this is a heavy snowflake, and you get a lot of heavy snowflakes, is that going to put a lot of pressure on people's homes and roofs, businesses? Will they be caving in from the snow?
It actually could if you got about a foot of snow on the roof. Sure, it's common sense. You would expect something like that,
Now, how far back is the snow line do we see? Do we see Pittsburgh getting snow? Do we see snow in Ohio, Tennessee, Kentucky, New England?
Depending on
Canada?
Of course you're going to see it in Canada. Come on now, you're getting a little bit ridiculous. Okay, you're going to see, I'd say in Pittsburgh, yeah, depending there. You're not going to see as much in Pittsburgh as you are in the mountains. You might see in a couple inches there. Around, you get around Cleveland, parts of Ohio, you'll see a lot less than what you will, in Pennsylvania. The further west you go, the less you'll see. I see around your Laurel Highlands, you're lying through there, it could be a couple inches in Pittsburgh. Okay, not ruling out even some freezing rain down there too, with the temperatures. If it gets to Pittsburgh's usually about 5 degrees warmer than what we are, so they could even see rain out of this down there too. Could even see some freezing rain out of this, a couple inches of snow. Because I see the majority of the snow you'll see in the mountains here, up here you'll see it. And further east you go, the temperature's going to be there's going to be a rain. And now you see a lot of heavy rain out of this too. I'd say about over 3 to 4 inches or more of rain, plus over 4 inches plus rain.
How far do we expect the snow line to travel eastward? Harrisburg, Philadelphia?
No, not in Harrisburg and Philly, no. No.
West Virginia?
Yeah, parts of West Virginia.
Virginia?
How'd it be rain? Well, this is good enough. I'm not here to... Signing off. You jerk questions every time. That's all you are.